going to ask you a question.
All right.
This is going to be, I don't know what we're going to call it.
Okay.
Think of a name.
Homer.
Homer. This is going to be called Homer. I don't know sure what that means.
It's
Name?
It's not going to be called Homer. Favorite or best?
No. It doesn't have to be something... It doesn't have to be something that was good. It's like something that is still near and dear to you, whether it was good or bad.
You know what? I'm overthinking it. Overthinking it.
3. That's why I'm giving you 3, because I can't say 1.
You say favorite childhood movies.
5.
5. Good enough.
Because 5's better because it gives you a little play to...
5 favorite childhood movies. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Star Wars.
Wait, okay, stop.
I'm trying to roll stream of conscious. Okay.
Favorite 5 childhood movies, not including...
Not... Fair enough. Because obviously the answers will be...
because I just realized we'll have the same.
Okay, alright, so go ahead.
Not including Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Fair.
Star Wars.
Fair.
I think that's the 2 that we could probably... Right? Because I can't think of...
They're the big two.
And like Goonies or something.
Ah, fuck yeah. Alright,
well,
fair.
because
fair.
you know...
Fair enough.
How about this? Favorite childhood movies... This segment is going to be like written like... Favorite childhood movies that you wouldn't... That aren't what everyone else probably would assume. Favorite childhood movies that aren't usually favorite childhood movies.
That is
for everyone else.
That is awesomely awkward and stupid. and if you are a wise man, you will keep all the awkwardness when you edit this together.
Of course I will.
Because that is the best. Star Wars Raiders of the Lost Ark, not there.
It cannot be there.
So my 5, and you know what? And I was grilling you before about like the criteria and all that shit.
Right.
Not going to do it. Now I'm just going to go stream of conscious, right?
Okay.
So the 5 childhood movies, for me, drawing from childhood. All right. Stand By Me.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about River Phoenix. I don't give a shit about, what's his name either.
Yeah.
Who's now Will Wheaton. Now awesome. At the time, kid everyone wanted to beat up. Sorry, Will. Totally true.
He knows.
Now awesome, though. So, Stand By Me. Stand By Me, still to this day, when I watch it, and I still do occasionally every couple of years, still the last lines, you know, especially Rivers. Not if I see you first. Waterfalls. Boom. Done. I'm ruined. Completely ruined. I'll tell you. So other ones would be after that. You said Goonies is out, so screw you.
It's too because we'll both say, yeah, like everyone loves Goonies, everyone loves Indiana Jones, everyone loves Star Wars, everyone loves, you know, we know.
We know. No, you're right. Oh, I can't even forget this one. Should have been number 1. Red Dawn.
Okay. That's on my...
Red Dawn, totally like, just like you probably went into the woods routinely with friends.
Yes.
And made believe I was in Red Dawn.
Hoped that situation would happen.
You used the right word. Hoped. Literally
hoped.
Wished. Like, when are the Russians going to invade? Poltergeist. When I was a kid, watched it ridiculously. Tons and tons of times. Which makes it really odd and inexplicable that I can't at all watch it now. Now, as a 40-something-year-old adult, the movie terrifies me. Thinking about it. If I think about it at night, if I'm like going to bed at night and like the movie Poltergeist pops in my head, nope. I'm getting up and going out in the living room and popping on Netflix and watching something else for a little while to get it out of my mind. Don't know what and why that is. And last, geez, it's tough. I'm gonna go with, I think, because I'm going with whatever's popping in my head, Forbidden Planet. Do you know Forbidden Planet? I grew up with that movie. My old man was a sci-fi geek. Watched the movie many times. I still think the movie's fantastic. I think it holds up great. I showed it to my own son when he was young. He was terrified of the creature. Do you remember the scene? You've seen it, right?
Yes.
You remember the scene where they had the force field and the invisible creatures coming through, and he starts to come through the force field, and you start to see
what it is.
Like, yeah, because the electricity, the energies, and I remember my son was like, "Oh, this is
turn it off.
This is fucked up. This is fucked up." Like, oh shit. No. So what's your 5? You've had time to think about it, though. You haven't.
Well, not really. I was listening, so I.
Fair enough.
But I have, I'd say, Dark Crystal.
Ah, good choice.
That's a.
I have the VHS back there. I can't dig it out though because it's too much work.
One of my quests in life was to find the theatrical poster. Because I worked at a movie theater, so I have this obsession with the theatrical versions, which were often double-sided.
Right.
You know, so that if you put them in a light box, the light would shine through them.
The posters?
Theatrical posters, the ones from the movie theater, are double-sided. They're actually, you know that, right?
I did not know this.
Yeah, I'll have to. I got a bunch of them, but they're actually double-sided. So the back is the reverse of the. So when you put them in what was a light box, which was those frames in a movie theater, there's a light behind them. It shone.
Shown, sure, shown is good.
It shone through so that it was
shown
all the colors were more vibrant in the poster.
That's rad.
And
I can say rad, right?
Sure, we've used it a couple times.
All right.
And my quest for a long time was to find the Dark Crystal poster.
That is a cool quest.
And it was hard. They used to fold them back then. Now, back when I worked at the theater, they rolled them and they put them in the things. But back then, they came in folded, so they were harder to find because they often got messed up and destroyed from being folded or whatever. But I was in Asbury one day and I found it. I found the Dark Crystal poster.
All right, so next,
The Secret of Nim.
Awesome. Did you read the book?
I did not.
I'll go get it.
I have to read it because I have. There's 2, right?
There's a sequel, yes.
Okay. There's
the book is rad, by the way.
Yeah, I always heard the book was better than. They only touched on it a little bit in Secret of Nim, but they did it enough to make you be intrigued that the rats were aware.
Yeah.
They were stealing energy from the farm. They got it from the farmer.
And it was dark too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As a kid, that's a dark movie.
Oh yeah.
I wonder how that. I haven't seen it in a long time. I wonder how it holds up now.
It's great.
Have you seen it recently?
Yeah, it was on Netflix for a while, so I was watching.
Oh, really?
It was on DVD, but it was on Netflix, which was great because it was in HD. But The Outsiders.
We were talking about this not too long ago, obviously off camera. Outsiders is awesome. I think Outsiders is one of those movies that people don't realize is made by Francis Ford Coppola. Godfather guy, Conversation guy, Apocalypse Now guy, one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. And I think The Outsiders is underrated. It's a nostalgia movie, but totally underrated.
Okay. The Last Starfighter.
Oh, yeah. Last Starfighter was cool.
Cheesy,
So, have you seen it recently, though?
Yeah, the story holds up well.
Yeah?
It does, think of some pretty bad 80s movies.
I can think of a lot of pretty bad 80s. and most 80s movies are pretty bad.
It's one of those movies that I, as a kid, couldn't get enough of. And I
watched it a lot as a kid as well, yeah.
There's 2 movies that I want to say, but I can only say one. But this one I'm going to say is another one of those movies that made me look at things differently.
Okay.
9 to 5.
Yeah?
I freaking loved that movie as a kid.
I like that answer because it's out of the left field.
And I understand, but that was one of those movies that I stumbled upon as a kid. And I love Dabney Coleman. I grew up, War Games, Cloak and Dagger. Think of all the movies Dabney Coleman was in that were he's made even that horse movie with Bobcat Goldthwait. But 9 to 5, I just recently watched it on Netflix.
Really?
And I was like, oh my god, 9 to 5's on. It was on, and I was telling my wife, you gotta watch. She'd never seen it. I was like, you gotta watch this movie. It's unbelievably funny. I love Lily Tomlin. I love that movie, and I watched it entirely, and I laughed at everything. I would have to say 9 to 5 is one of those movies that I grew up thinking it was, and it doesn't fit into the theme.
Yeah.
But that is one of those classic movies.
This is why Netflix exists.
Yeah.
It's because people like you are 9 to 5. Oh
my god!
And no one in the world even imagines that you exist. They're 9 to 5 was a movie. And that's it. It was a movie. And then meanwhile, there's you who are like, 9 to 5. Oh my god. Wife, come into the room. You must watch this with me.
9 to 5. That's in my Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Goonies. 9 to 5.
What a way to make a living.
That's the yeah.
See that? See that? Come on. All right. Well, that's an interesting top 5. Yeah.
I feel like everyone's gonna remember the 9 to 5.
You know what? You might be right. You might be right about that.